Howdy, folks. Rebecca Jolly here with Jolly Alchemy's daily transit neutrino forecast. So, today is the 22nd of July, Tuesday, 2025, and we have a lot to cover today because there's a lot of shifting going on, so let's dive right in. Today is our last day of the Cross of Laws, so we'll be switching scarves here. Our lawlessness or our lawliness is coming to a close, and today we'll also be featuring the juxtaposition cross, and that is the cross of stimulation that we're moving into. And towards the end of the day, it is also moving into the next cross, but we'll cover that tomorrow because 2 crosses in a day is plenty. So the Cross of Laws has, as you know, we've been going through the 56 and the 60. Underneath that, supporting it, is the 3 and the 50. The 3 being mutative change, mutative beginnings, and the 50 being the gate of values here out of the spleen. But in the juxtaposition today, that will switch to the 27 and 28. The 27 is, let's see, nurturing. So it's the nurturing on the other side of the 50, and then 28 is risks here in this central channel here, in the channel of struggle or challenge. So it's the risks. And the children born under this juxtaposition cross are very much stimulation junkies. So they're the ones that need to tell you and talk about their story of all these things. They are massive storytellers here coming out of the throat. So they need to tell their story. They need to get it out. They need to explain all the things in their own way. And if they don't, then they're willing to take extreme risks in order to get that stimulation for themselves. So it's a high energy kind of a cross for these children to be born under. By the way, any of these juxtaposition crosses that I talk about, if you carry them, please let me know. I'd like to talk with you and see what your experiences are, because those juxtapositions are just so rare. Anyway, moving on. So we will be moving through the 4-6 and then the 4-1 of the juxtaposition before starting to hit into the 5, which of course we will cover tomorrow. So line 4, 56-4 is expediency, stimulation out of prudent calculation. So the 4th line always has to do with interpersonal things, and so it is prudently calculating how you need to stimulate the other side with the storytelling. And 64 is resourcefulness to tap the full potential. So again, that's going to have an interpersonal flavor of the 60, and the 60 is more of a traditionalist gate. It's on the other side of that 3 that I had just mentioned, being the supporting gate for the Cross of the Laws, and it creates a full channel here between the sacral center and the root center. So people like my daughter, her chart is right there. You can see she has the root and the sacral center defined with that exact 360 definition going on there. Our moon, it clipped the very end of 45-6, so I thought I would give that to you. It's integrating to include outsiders in the material process, but it will be very soon moving into 12, so I thought, well, let's give you 12 line 1 as well. That is the monk, withdrawal and caution and beauty and harmony, and the moon, after it's done going through the 12 for several hours, will move into the 15, which is the love of humanity and the gate of extremes coming here out of the G center. And then into 52, which is the gate of concentration. I call it mountain stillness, and that's down here out of the root, facing up towards the sacral center. And this is the ability to sit and concentrate on things. So you like to have these 52 people in your study groups because they help everybody focus and concentrate a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, so that's our moon moving through the day. Now we have, yes, Mercury still in retrograde, has shifted down from the 7-3 to 7-3 to the 7-2, still with shadow on it. So 7-2 is the Democrat, the capacity to lead when democratically authorized, and the shadow of that is one we've recently talked about, overstepping one's leadership authority and the inability to let go as the power basis has been ignored. I've come to associate this with our dear cheese-headed king, who is obviously feeling a loss of his power base and trying desperately to grasp a hold and to keep his sliding authority because he's not doing it right. So there it is. Sorry. Venus has moved into 45-3. That is exclusion, the reaction to the exclusion from material processes. Again, whenever the word material is mentioned, we're talking about money, and we are talking about this 45 gate. This is the gatherer or the king or queen or the teacher in this money-making channel right here. So this is about how we react when we are excluded from the money-making process. And I carry this gate and this line, and I have definitely lived very much of my life poor or homeless, excluded from the material process. So it's very interesting to see how that works. I don't have the shadow on it, but still, I'm able to feel that shadow. A lot of times we do feel the shadow sides of our activations more than we feel the light sides of those activations. Luckily, the light side of that activation is being able to come back into the material process after having been excluded. So here's hoping. Anyway, that is in our Venus, so that's about our values. And the moon, or not the moon, Mars has also shifted into 47-4, which is integrity despite external oppression. So it's moving from self-oppression into oppression happening more as a result of an interpersonal reaction, but being able to maintain integrity in that energy and in that feeling. So it is an improvement. Then we have a global shift today as well. Going to try to get through this as quickly as I can. The global shift is in Jupiter, so that's where we're experiencing our luck. And it is line 1, liberation, based on the refusal to confront a challenge. So, obviously a temporary kind of freedom. 39 is the gate of provocation. So provocation is happening here from the root in this middle channel going up towards the solar plexus or the emotional center. So this gate is very much about provoking others, poking the bear in order to see what kind of reaction we're going to get, in order to see the true spirit of the other. So we are going to be starting to feel some provocative energy in the world. You're going to see a little bit more of fights being picked, or in this case the energy isn't quite into picking fights but refusing to pick fights, but just barely, feeling that energy of I'd like to but I'm not going to, kind of a thing. So get ready for some more upheaval to be coming into the global scene because of this energy starting to be felt here in Jupiter. So be aware. There it is. Today's song of the day is Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra, and that was chosen because of a combination of this stimulation out of prudent calculation and resourcefulness to tap full potential. So it's like feeling the bright potential of a new day with resources and new things happening, and that's how we got Mr. Blue Sky. Not one of my favorite songs, but maybe it's yours. All right, so we've gone through crosses, and I am going to be doing at least one, maybe two videos coming up here explaining a little bit more about what's going on with the crosses, what they mean and how they move, so that we can have a little bit of a foundational understanding of what's happening in those crosses, rather than me just saying this word cross, which it carries kind of a weight in English and it's not exactly clear what's going on. So let me explain. Stick around. And also tomorrow we will have a brand new cross past the juxtaposition. Looking forward. We'll see what it is. See you tomorrow.